This afternoon, police officially confirmed that the gunman, Sheikh Haroun, had been killed. An Iranian refugee and self-described Muslim cleric, he seems to have acted alone, at least based on the facts as they are known right now. There are clear signs that Islamic extremism motivated his actions. Kathy Novak with CNN affiliate SBS is live in Martin Place, where this all went down. Kathy.
Well, Jake, Australians had been watching this tense situation all of yesterday with these hostages holed up in this cafe, and now they are waking up to this shocking news that the siege has ended, but unfortunately not without the loss of life. We hear, as you say, that the gunman has been killed, but so have two innocent people. And the front page of the local paper says it all. Terror hits home. A shocking story here in Australia, not something that people here are used to seeing. Let's take a look at how these events unfolded. Police storm a cafe in Sydney, Australia, filled with hostages held for nearly 17 hours. Stun grenades are thrown into the building. Gunfire erupts, and the battle lasts for almost 5 minutes. Through the windows, flashes of gunfire and stun grenades exploding. In the midst of the chaos, hostages can be seen fleeing the cafe in groups. One man runs towards police with his hands in the air. An injured woman is carried from the scene. When it is all over, paramedics rush in. At least 3 are dead, including the gunman.
2 deceased amongst the hostages and 6 that were uninjured. We also have a lone gunman who has been shot and killed, and we have a male police officer who has been injured as a result of a gunshot wound to the face.
The gunman, Haroun Monis, is an Iranian native and self-proclaimed sheikh. He is well known to the police and is currently out on bail for a 2013 charge as an accessory to murder of his former wife. The siege started when the gunman walked into the chocolate cafe just before 10 a.m. local and took 17 hostages, turning normally bustling city streets silent. During the standoff, some hostages were able to escape and run to safety. He had hostages hold a black flag in the cafe window. He demanded an ISIS flag to replace it. Chilling images of hostages with hands and faces pressed against the windows shocked Australians. At one point, hostages were forced to record videos making demands for the gunman. A local radio host spoke directly with one of the hostages.
They phoned my program. Obviously, I didn't want to put them to air, so I took their calls off air. And at the same time, could hear the hostage taker giving the young man who spoke to me, a 23-year-old, instructions on what he wanted to do.
Shortly after 2 a.m. local time, the gunman splits the hostages into 2 groups on opposite sides of the room, according to Australia's 7 network. One group was able to escape, running towards police officers. Moments go by, and then a gunshot is heard from inside the cafe, and a hostage goes down. Heavily armed tactical police storm the building from 2 different directions. Monis is shot and killed. There were at least 9 people inside the building at the time.
There was a number of gunshots that were heard, which caused officers to move straight to what we call an EA, an emergency action plan, and that caused them to enter.
So the siege over, but still a number of questions to be answered. We know that this man was known to police, that he had been convicted on charges of sending offensive letters to families who had suffered the loss of members of their families who had served in the armed forces in Afghanistan. We also know that he was bailed on a string of charges, including sexual assault and accessory to murder. So why has it come to this? Why was this man who was known to police allowed to have it come to this point where he was holding up hostages throughout the day yesterday in this busy part of Sydney, and it ended up in the loss of life?
All right, SBS reporter Kathy Novak, thank you so much.